So let me clarify this. Are y'all telling us that if you are not related to us, if you are not dating us, if you're not having some sort of physical relationship to us, if you don't find us attractive, if you don't find us polite enough, kind enough, quiet enough, that our lives are not worth protecting? Is that what you're telling us? Is that the precedent you're setting?
First of all, let's start here. No one's telling you anything.
So let me clarify this. Are y'all telling us that if you are not related to us, if you are not dating us, if you're not having some sort of physical relationship to us, if you don't find us attractive, if you don't find us polite enough, kind enough, quiet enough, that our lives are not worth protecting? Is that what you're telling us? Is that the precedent you're setting?
First of all, let's start here. No one's telling you anything. No one's trying to set a precedence. I don't think anyone is looking to make history here. But the reality is, no one's telling you anything because we don't owe you an explanation. And the fact that you think that we do owe you an explanation is utterly ridiculous. Let's start with the fact that we live in a society where, for the majority of my lifetime, all I've ever heard you guys say is that you don't need a man. You're strong and independent. You can do bad by yourself. Excuse me, you can do bad all by yourself. I grew up listening to these slogans. I grew up listening to women around us constantly say these things, constantly remind the men on a daily basis just how useless we are in your eyes, right? Not to mention the fact that when it boils down to it, we're not allowed to tell you anything. We're not allowed to expect you to operate the way a traditional wife would. We're not allowed to expect you to cooperate with us. We're not allowed to expect you to be submissive. We're not allowed to ask you about the previous relationships you had, how many sexual partners you had. We're not allowed to have any expectations of you whatsoever. You're allowed to expect us to protect you even if we don't know you. Even if we don't know you from a can of paint. That's the expectation, right? So if I'm strolling down the street and I see some woman being assaulted, I'm supposed to dun, 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 jump in and you know, rescue you. But that's what we have police for. We have an entire system set up just for that. It's the whole purpose of the number 911, emergency response, right? We've set up an entire structure for the purpose of protecting people that are in danger. This is what we pay taxes for. But you expect some random brother to put on a cape like he's Batman or like he's Superman? This is utterly ridiculous. And the fact that you have so many of you circulating the internet, spewing this foolishness after you done showed out for the better part of 50 years. 50 years of telling us that we ain't ish. 50 years of telling us that we're weak. Not to mention, let's not even get into this whole campaign to make every single man feel like when he's violent, there's something wrong with him, that he's toxic. Any dude that's macho and masculine, that's toxic masculinity. So which one is it? On the one hand, you want all of the dudes to be soft as buttercups, but then when it comes time for you to be protected, you want all of the men to operate like Conan the Barbarian. You got to pick a struggle. You feel what I'm saying? You got to decide what you're going to do. But at the end of the day, what it boils down to is this, and I will reiterate it. Okay? We don't get to expect anything of you. We barely get to ask you anything. We don't get to ask you what you bring to the table. We don't get to ask you if you're a traditional woman. We don't get to ask you what your body count is. We don't get to expect things out of you, like what used to be considered woman's work, which is now considered offensive to think of as women's work or to expect it. We don't get to expect you to cook. We don't get to expect you to clean. We don't get to expect you to be submissive, cooperative, ladylike. We don't get to expect you to not have a child before we meet you. We don't get to expect you to remain chaste until you actually get married. We don't get to expect anything out of you. So really what it boils down to at the end of the day is if we are not allowed to have expectations of you, we're not allowed to expect you to live your life a certain way, you cannot expect us to risk our life.
I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king and I will never knew. Plotting for my fall, you getting hanged for treason. I don't aim to please, do anything I feel. Haters gonna talk, don't listen to the shit. They tryna be like me, they know they can, yo. Can't even get lost, I'm on a pedestal, sitting on my throne. My neck be decked in gold, I don't do no hoes, I've got a queen though. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king, I told you guys before, ready for the war, to get me way much more. Gather all this poise, add them to my kingdom. Shout out to my fans for pledging your allegiance. You get a reward.
All right, y'all. We are back. We are back. We are back. This is your trusted RBN, your Real Bravado Network, where we address Black people issues here, especially the issues that keep us from being together. My name is TJ, and I am your facilitator for this journey today. And this journey will be short because we're back tonight. Yeah, I really like my theme song. All right, y'all, listen. Before we get started today, please do me a huge favor.
Acknowledge me.
Acknowledge the Real Bravado Network. Acknowledge those that are streaming with us. Acknowledge the chat. Acknowledge those that will watch us live. Well, not live. Will watch us later on the replay. And acknowledge those that send out very, very, very interesting and sometimes upsetting comments after the stream is over with. Appreciate you. And before we get started,
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you. Listen. Today, I'm going to start my very first YouTube beef. I'm going to be beefing with the little homie, the little bruh, Theo Coop on the Do Better podcast. Yes, today RBN starts our very first YouTube beef. It ain't what you think. I got a comment that I actually want to pull up, and that's going to get us started today. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. All right. The other day we did a stream, and it's called Black Men Are Not Welcome Anywhere. And this lady, people blur stuff. I ain't blurring that now. You send me a comment, I can put it up. This young lady, I guess, watched the clip. This is a clip of that stream, and I think it's a 5-minute clip. So you can see, actually the clip dropped today. I'm sorry. The clip dropped this morning. You can see Maxine Waters is the thumbnail, and it says, Black women run black men are not welcome anywhere. You guys need to go and watch that clip. It's a 5-minute clip. But here's what her response was to this. Black men created this through by being absentee and not stepping up to provide financially on a collective level. Black women have taken over collectively due to Black men neglecting us and our children. For the dynamic to shift, we expect Black men to be financially able to provide and to be present and active fathers in the home. I am, at this point, I am past being pissed off at our women for getting up here and having the nerve to say demonstratively false statements like this. This attitude, this pervasive attitude and thought process that is shared collectively with our women has absolutely destroyed the image of the Black man. And I'm a little bit pissed off at us because I'm talking about us, I mean Black men, because we have allowed this effed up narrative about us to go on far too long, for this narrative to have trickled down through the generations. And a lot of our women, let's keep it a buck, a lot of our women have this mindset or this thought process or this impression because Black men have allowed this impression to trickle throughout the Black experience in this country because we remain silent. And also, our women have been for 50 years been able to just flat out lie on the majority of Black men. And especially over the last few years, we have made every attempt over the last 5 years to present the data, the statistics, the resource, the proof that this narrative that this woman put up on my feed 16 minutes ago is absolutely false. There's so much wrong with this statement, not from an emotional standpoint, not from I'm a man, so I'm going to defend us standpoint. It is so wrong on a factual level. 54% of Black men are single, childless, and over 60% of that number of Black men make enough money to be considered middle class, which means The overwhelming majority of, you look at from the money perspective, the overwhelming majority of Black men have the ability to provide financially for a family. I am sick of our women who have chosen. There is this thought process out here that our women don't have a choice in who they pick to be fathers. Our women have chosen. You guys choose which men become fathers. I don't know how in the hell you don't understand that at this point. You decide, the woman in the United States of America decides who gets born. That decision in the United States of America is exclusively the decision of the woman. So if you get pregnant because you decided not to do an extensive, thorough vetting of the guy, and you decide which children get carried to term and delivered. No man decides that in the United States of America. So if you are having issues with producing or having suitable, capable fathers for your children, that is your fault. That is not the fault of the man. That is your fault. You choose who become fathers. I don't know how any other way you can parse that, but I have had women come up on my platform and tell me that a woman has no choice in who becomes a parent, who becomes a father. Now they don't choose the father. I've had women come up here and say that. I've had women come on my platform and sit here and just say that that the reason why they're pregnant or got pregnant or have a kid is because some guy they decided to get them pregnant. No accountability for the decisions that they have made. Which brings me to my beef with the good brother Theo. The good brother Theo. Let me start this countdown clock. Here comes my beef with the good brother Theo. And my beef is really not a beef, but my beef is more of it's twofold. I don't understand for the life of me how this lady that got bricked down has sparked a national conversation about the lack or the so-called lack of protection for Black women from Black men. And I sat up last night at work in my ear and I listened to the lead attorney. He did almost 4-hour live stream last night. Lead, what do you think about your live streams?
They are amazing.
Most of the time they are. Most of the time they are, Lead. Your live streams are pretty amazing most of the time. But last night, the lead attorney did a live stream and man after man after man after man came up. And essentially, and I'm paraphrasing, and essentially the impression that I got, they essentially stated that the other brothers that were standing around when this woman got bricked were wrong for sitting there watching her get bricked. And how this particular woman has sparked this debate that almost all content creators, even content creators like my good brother Theo, the Do Better podcast with Theo Coop, covers this. I had no intention of covering this crap because I believe that this whole narrative based on this incident with this woman talking about, I got smacked with a brick, and then she out there hollering to the guys in the background was like, what do you want me to do? I want you to be a man. I want you to be a man. The mere fact that this woman and her antic and so many women are rallying to produce, not produce, but rallying to expound this or re-bring up this narrative, this false narrative that black men are not protecting black women makes me want to fucking vomit. So I saw Theo did a clip on this, and there's some things about in the clip that I wanted to go over with Theo. Some of it I agree with, some of it I disagree with it, but my overall beef is I'm sick and tired of, and I understand from a content creator standpoint, from a money-making standpoint, you got to go and cover what's hot. I mean, well, you don't have to do it. I believe that there are just some subject matters that we should not give validity to. And when we address certain narratives as if they have merit, when a guy in this space, like the lead attorney who has credibility, not only from a professional standpoint, but from a masculine male standpoint, from an intellectual standpoint, and from a platform standpoint, from the size of his platform and influence, when they address the fuckery, they give credibility to the actual issue. They give credibility that it leaves the impression that yes, this is a problem, and because it's a problem, it's such a problem, even the best of our black men have to address it. I wish that when we see the fuckery in motion sometimes, that we don't address the issue, because I'm tired of giving life and giving credibility to stuff that is just simply made up, and the stuff that actually damages or reaffirms a negative impression about the black male image. So this is what my beef is. My beef is, while I understand from a content creating standpoint that you want to address this shit, but when you address this crap, even though you may address it in a way to say, oh, she's wrong, the mere fact that you are addressing it gives credibility to the overall narrative that black men don't protect black women, which is some bullshit.
Salute to the squad. It's your commander Theo Coop, and we are back here with another video. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. So, unless you guys been living underneath a rock the past few days, I'm sure you guys have noticed Brickgate, and that is a situation that happened down in Houston a few days ago in which a woman.
The brother called it Brickgate. He called it Brickgate. I'm sorry. I have to just laugh about that. Theo, is Brickgate?
Alleges that a man approached her to try to get her number. She declined him. He assaulted her with a brick. Let her tell it, allegedly. If you're not seeing that clip, here we go.
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just what?
First of all, let me just say right here. If a man picked up a brick, there was a fella on the lead attorney's podcast last night, and he actually held up a brick. If a man actually picked up a brick and bust her aside her face with a brick, that woman would not be able to be on a live on her whatever platform she went live on to talk about it. A full-grown man wielding a concrete brick on a skull. Yeah, okay.
And they don't give a fuck. Yeah, this man hit me, he grabbed a rock and he hit me in my face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just fucking watch. Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit? What y'all gonna do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man.
Oh, shout out. Hold on, let me do this. Shout out to the homeboy, Theo. We're beefing, bruh. We're beefing.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
We're beefing, Theo.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
We're beefing because, and shout out to the I'm calling Theo my little brother because he's, even though like in this YouTube space, the brother has got the game and gone with it, and I got to learn from him, but I am older, so I'm calling him the little brother. So even he my 6 foot, well, what are you, Theo, 6'9"? I'm 5'11". You know, I'm calling him the little brother. Listen, the fact that we even cover this shit, that we cover this topic, gives credence. It lends credibility to the false narrative that black men are not protecting black women. It gives a false narrative. So I know from a content creating standpoint, as I said a few minutes ago, that it's hard to not cover this from a content creating standpoint. But when we cover this stuff, we give credibility to the underlying issue or narrative that's out here, which is false. One of the most false narratives out here is the fact that black men are not protecting black women when these graveyards are littered with black men who have protected black women. Get out of here.
So that video has came out, and of course it went viral. And there was also a man who came back and alleged that he was there on the scene when it happened.
I was one of the guys who was there that did not help her when she was getting hit with the brick, right? I feel like people need to know the whole story before they start commenting and say things they don't understand or they don't know.
My opinion about the situation, I believe in my bottom of my heart that I don't believe this situation even happened.
Bang! Bang! It's good!
I don't believe it happened. I believe that this woman who has taken her TikTok down has been trying to go viral for a while, and she did. Also, the dude who came back says he's a witness.
And Theo, and anybody listening who's watched this, if you have not picked up on that simple fact, and the fact of the matter is it came out during TLA's live stream last night that this woman has done this before. And because she's out here on a grift trying to get a bag with her GoFundMe page, all at the expense of a black man, all at the expense of a black man. I'm going to put this comment up that came in on my posted on my Facebook, on my YouTube channel today from a black woman. Black men create this by being absent and not stepping up to provide financially on a collective level. This is a bullshit narrative. Black women have taken over collectively due to black men neglecting us. How in the hell are you neglected? One of these broads got to come up here and tell me how in the hell y'all being neglected. And your children. Especially with the volume of black men out here that are playing stepdaddy to these Duster Bunnies children, these damn gremlins. For the dynamic to shift back, we expect black men to financially be able to provide. Black men earn over $10,000 a year more than the average black woman. So what the hell are you talking about? They have this attitude about us. And then they want to roll out this false narrative that we're not protecting them. And then they create a situation where somebody allegedly gets bricked. And then we got all of the sister code coming up. And let me tell y'all something. Most of the women that talk about how violent men are towards them have never been violated by a man. They're sitting there spewing out somebody else's story as it happened to them. Our women tend to do that. They hear the bullshit from another woman. Instead of verifying that it actually happened, they accept the bullshit and then regurgitate the bullshit as if that shit happened to them. You have no idea how many times I've talked to women about, and they're talking about how abusive men are, and so many women are in domestic violence situations and abusive relationships, and men are this and men are that, men do this and men do that. And then you ask them, well, how many men that you've been in relationships have done you like that? And they go, well, ain't nobody done me like that. Then how in the hell do you know if out of 40 years of life, you've never experienced that kind of treatment? But they talk like that they just went through that shit yesterday. And let me tell you, from somebody who witnessed it as a little boy in his home, that ain't nothing to play with.
Money making is my thing, cause I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the
Shout out to my homegirl, Almond Eyes, who will, hold on a second, Almond. Most of the dudes on TLS stream will never be part of the solution. Hell, they part of the problem. Some of them are. Them brothers that kept coming up last night, man, especially the little gaming channel, man, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. I'm not, and let me tell you guys something. I'm not being cavalier when I say that, you know, men need to behave in their own best interest. I'm not being cavalier when I say that, but too many times guys like the little gaming channel, you know, they get done the worst by women because of their mindset. And let me tell you something, and I actually put this in the comment over there that I don't know if it got read or not. Too many men look at every woman like that woman is her mother. They think every woman in the world is all things sugar and nice like their mothers. And I've said on multiple streams, black men need to wake the fuck up and stop pretending like most of our mothers ain't nothing but a bunch of thotzillas. If you are a black man and you got multiple siblings from your mother, and your siblings have multiple fathers, your mama's a hoe. I hate to break the bad news to you. You one of 5, and there's 3 or 4 different fathers. Your mother is a hoe. I don't care how good you think your mama is to you. She might be good to you, but she's a hoe. 2 things can be true. Your mother can be decent to you, and she can be a ho-ho. There's a reason why she got 4 or 5 baby daddies. And it's not because she's some damn victim. But we don't protect. We tell our women to slow down with the volume of ding-a-lings you let run through you. We tell you to slow down.
There, I wouldn't be surprised if either one of those people are actually connected. That's just my own conspiracy theory, be that as it may. But I do believe that this incident, whether real or fake, brings up a conversation that needs to be had. And that is, do black men owe all black women protection, even strangers, even when...
Now, I'm going to play what Theo's response was to his own question. Do black men owe all black women protection? For me, let's separate this Brickgate issue aside. That's a very convoluted, complex answer. in the perfect world, you want the men of your community to protect the community. But the community has to provide something that's worth protecting. I think this is funny, Corey Joe. Absolutely. Reaction of the reactions. Yeah. Absolutely. Reactions to the reactions. So in a perfect world, once upon a time, the men of the community protected the community. It protected the weakest of the community, which is our women and children. And it did not matter if my wife is out somewhere, if my wife was out somewhere and something was in a situation and the guy that lived across the street saw it, he would jump in and save my wife, and he would have the expectation that I do too. But there was a time that our women did not put themselves in a situation where someone could allegedly pick up a brick and smack your ass in the face with a brick because of your mouth. Our women didn't behave that way at one point. That was not a concern. Just give me a second. I got another thought. Just give me a second.
Money making is my thing, because I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Shout out to Almanize again with the $2 super chat. These are facts. Just a side note, guys, we're going to be back streaming tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time, and we're going to be talking about the state of Texas passed. I'm calling it the Black Women's Only Law. For me, it's a law geared just only for Black women, it's called the Crown Act. If you guys want to go look it up, the Crown Act, it's a law about discrimination against Black hair or Black women's hair or Black hair or something like that. And I'm going to be having a conversation with a bunch of sisters tonight about the Crown Act. And I'm going to be asking them on my stream, if you got all of this political power to get a law passed just for yourself, why would you waste all of this time for, am I missing something? Like, is there like a problem that we don't know about? Like, you had to expend all of this political capital to get your own specific Black woman law? Really? That's what you're doing? And you got it done in Texas, of all places. You never thought that Texas would pass an all-Black woman law. So we're going to be doing that tonight. I'm going to be talking about that. This don't make a hill of bit of sense to me tonight. That it seemed like our Black women in Texas got together and they wanted to come in because they wanted a law that validates them looking like the Muppet Babies when they come out the damn house. I don't know. So I'm bringing up a bunch of sisters. And by the way, several of my own biological sisters are going to be on tonight as well. Almanize will be live streaming with me on this. So you guys come back on out tonight to check that live out. Should be a fiery, interesting conversation about that. But let's get back to Theo real quick.
You're not married to.
This whole notion that, should Black men protect all Black women? In theory, yeah, but what do we have to protect now? What do we have to protect now? That's the thing.
That's not your family members. Do Black men owe all Black women protection? My answer to that is, nigga, please. I'll believe that Black men owe all Black women protection when Black women can name for me one thing that they owe to Black men. But be that as it may, after that all.
Theo, when I was putting this together last night, I heard one of the ladies at this is how you know shit's unfair, is the stuff that women can say on the job that men will get fired for. And I forgot to plug my thing, my headphone thing came loose from the computer on this question, and she was like, well, I don't know why he sounds so angry. We do give y'all pussy. Whatever, man. That's it. We got to put our life on the line. I mean, okay.
all black women protection? My answer to that is, nigga, please. I'll believe that black men owe all black women protection when black women can name for me one thing that they owe to black men. But be that as it may, after that all had transpired, apparently King Kong consciousness himself, Dr. Umar Johnson.
I beg your pardon.
I at this point, you know, we always gotta qualify a negative statement about Dr. Umar Johnson because of how smart he is. This dude, let me tell you something. It's hard to take this brother seriously anymore about anything. I don't care how smart he might come across. The dude is just not credible.
Has appeared into the scene and is putting his cape on for old brick face over here. Let's see what Dr. Umar has to say.
Damn, Theo called her old brick face.
Heard that a sister got hit with a brick for denying the romantic advances of her brother. Is that true? Can somebody confirm this story? In the United States, my American Africans.
And I apologize, I should have stated this earlier in the video. It goes without saying, if this is in fact indeed true, it goes without saying that no one should be putting their hands on women for.
See, look, Theo, look. I know I got to be very careful, bro, and because I know this is our beefing time. We're beefing right now. In theory, you're correct in theory, but I am no longer in that camp of saying that a dude shouldn't do this or dude shouldn't do that. Whoopi Goldberg, during the Ray Rice scandal, if you guys remember Ray Rice, he was a running back for the Baltimore Ravens, and he got kicked out of the league because the video surfaced of him, you know, backhanding his wife and knocking her out and all that good stuff. Let me tell you guys something. And then also that video showed her attacking him in the damn elevator before she got backhanded and knocked out. Ladies, Lead kind of touched on it a little bit last night, but it wasn't, I don't think it was hit home hard enough. If you guys already know that you ain't got no weight, no win with no man, do not put yourself in a situation where you provoke a violent action. Let me tell you something. Provoking a man to violence is bad business. If you want to protect yourself, the best way to protect yourself is to be fragile. Men come to the rescue of things that are fragile and dainty, which are women and children. If you are bossing up at a dude, putting your hands on him, like this girl was allegedly doing, like walking around slapping people and stuff, if you get knocked out or allegedly bricked down because you got the balls to put your hands on a dude, you got what you got. Ain't no, why do I sit there and watch you smack a dude, punch a dude, kick a dude, and then he backhands you, then you want me to come in? You know what I'm going to do? You know what my response to that is?
Hell no. To the no. Yeah.
I don't think, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that when you out of order. The best thing you can do for a woman to protect yourself is to stay, and I hate to say it like this, stay in a woman's place. Don't be trying to fight no dude. I'm not saying that you cannot get into a disagreement, but do not get into a shouting match, you know, calling him out of his name, jumping up in his face. You guys don't understand. You guys do not understand how we see that behavior and what triggers in our brain when we see that behavior. We no longer see a woman. We see a threat. We don't see you as a female no more. We don't see you as somebody that needs to be protected or to be handled delicately. We see a threat, and men's nature is to neutralize threats. You are a threat. You are a whole problem. And I'm sorry for the men who are raising their daughters to be like, oh, you know, a man should never. You need to start telling your daughters the truth. You jump up in a man face. Not all men's gonna have the discernment or the restraint not to cock you.
In their romantic advances. Like, that kind of goes without saying.
My American Africans, did I hear that correctly? That a sister got hit with a brick by a brother? This is insane. No man worthy of the title man. No man worthy of the title man should ever put his hand.
Dr. Umar, you ain't got no room. You know what? TLA, these comments, TLA, these comments from Dr. Umar, what do you think about those comments from Dr. Umar?
They are amazing.
They are amazingly stupid. Dr. Umar got the damn gall to sit up there and try to tell somebody what is a man. You got your nerve right now, dog. Don't let me turn this live stream into a complete roast of you and your weak ass manhood.
Money making is my thing, cause I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the
Shout out to the man that I'm beefing with. We beefing, Theo. Shout out to the Do Better podcast with Theo Coop with the $10 super chat. Oh, what you say, homeboy? He says a little something for the plate. Thank you. Because, like, you know, I got a new personal trainer, and like these eating healthy meals, man, that stuff expensive. What did TLA say overall about the brick face? I missed it. His conclusion was, after 4 hours of this stuff, after 4 hours of gassing these dudes up to be, you know, the Captain Save-A-Ho, his conclusion was, if you are a man in 2023, you don't get involved. That was his thing. He says it's not worth you getting involved. Go back, man. Go watch that stream, man. It's 3 hours, but you can go watch different parts of that stream. You know, oh my God, especially the 15 minutes leading up to the little gaming channel coming up and what Lee was talking about, man. I mean, my God. Shout out to Team Peterson. What up, good brother? Black protection. Some men's come with the ring. Last name, absolutely. And I think Theo says it on here or whatever. If you want, well, I'll let Theo say it. If you want to be protected unconditionally, you know what you got to do, ladies. Let's not sit here and pretend like you don't know what you got to do for that. Let's not sit there and pretend like you don't know what you got to do with that. Ain't that right, LA Knight? Yeah. All right, here we go.
Money making is my thing, cause I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the
All right. My good brother Coonley, where you been, brother? Been busy? I get you. I get it. It happens sometimes. With the $4 super sticker, thank you, homie, for coming back and showing some love. You always do. You know, you a day one. Thank you. I appreciate you on that super sticker. Hold on, I gotta stop my screen share. Okay. And then Mr. Salt T Balls, black the hell out of Umar Barbecue Panda Bear. Yeah. Dr. Umar, he ain't got no room to talk to nobody about what a black man is or what a man is or manhood with his sorry simping ass. Absolutely.
On an African queen.
I agree.
You have no business touching our sisters. Now, brothers, I've said this before. We're going to have to ski mask up and start protecting our women. We're going to have to ski mask up and start protecting our women. A brother put his hands on a sister, there should be an army of brothers to put him in his place. We have to.
I beg your pardon?
And this is where you and I differ in opinions, Dr. Umar, is because, yes, I agree. If we knew for a fact that this happened and dude just assaulted this woman, yes, we should approach it that way. But a couple things. One, we don't even know it was actually true. Salute to the content creator, celebrity / queen of accountability. She made a post on her page, and which she said she contacted 3 county doctors in the Houston, Texas area to see if there was ever a police report involved around this incident, and there was none. And also, if you guys aren't familiar, this woman has had, this would make her 3rd GoFundMe in the last recent years. So that's why I'm thinking this is a GoFundMe. I know she's Somalian. This has got African scammer written all on it. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was a GoFundMe action, as well as sliding my man who came over and said that he was there, him getting a piece of that too. Again, this is my conspiracy bandana on. Let's get back to it.
We have to. Every time a black woman is assaulted, black men as a brotherhood are dishonored. Every time a black woman is assaulted, black men as a brotherhood are dishonored.
Fellas, do not run out here and get your ass deleted because you don't fully understand what's happening with a situation between a man and a woman. We have now understood the last 5 or 6 years or so about that this whole notion that if a woman's in a situation with a man, that somehow she's being victimized. We've come to understand that that's probably not that's not as much the case anymore with us. And Dr. Umar can go sit his ass down somewhere with this. Tell my black men need to go ahead and ski mask up, and we should be insulted and offended by this. No, what you need to be offended by is a woman that feels so entitled that she thinks that there'll be no repercussions if she puts her hands on a man. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say about this anymore. And let me tell you something, ladies, the best advice I can give you, do not go out here and think you can go tough Tony with a dude. Don't think you can do that. And the other thing, I would like for us to stop covering content or issues that give credit that gives credibility to a negative narrative about black men. This particular issue has caught major fire, and us covering it in any aspect gives the credibility that black men that there is an issue with black men protecting black women. There is no issue with black men protecting black women. That is a false narrative. That's a falsehood. It's propaganda. It's bullshit. It's a flat out lie. It is a flat out lie that black men as a whole don't protect black women. If you don't think it's a flat out lie, go look at TLA's live stream last night and all of those monkey simp brothers coming up there talking about what they would do. One dude talking about, I'll choke him out. I want to choke him out. You don't.
Money making is my thing, cause I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the
Shout out again to the good brother Salty Balls again for the $10 super chat. Appreciate your brother. Appreciate your brother. Oh my God, I didn't know. He's still in the neck. He's still in neck rehab. Yeah. I can't take Dr. Umar seriously. I can't allow this brother to tell me, to define my manhood. I can't do none of that. Guys, we're back again tonight because we got to talk about this book. To me, hold on. Before we go, let me take one more look at this. This came over in my comment section today from a black woman. And this is what y'all want. This is what you want us to protect, a black woman who comes out here and just flat out lies on black men. This, and I'm going to make an assumption here. This is your experience with the fucking duster bunny that you decided to have fucking kids with. This is why I will never win public office, because my platform will be to eliminate child support and eliminate entitlement programs. I want to abolish child support for non-married women. I think there should be a mechanism in place for married women who become the primary caregiver of their children that they had with their husband. If you do not have a husband, you do not deserve child support. That means that you decided that whatever children that you have the ability to take care of them on your own, or you don't. I guarantee you, if they abolish child support for non-married women and abolished and got rid of entitlement programs for non-married women, I guarantee you that our out-of-wedlock birth rate in the Black community would plummet. 80% of our kids, 80% of us are born out of a fuck and not out of a plan. Tonight, we're back tonight, and we're going to be talking about why our women thought it was so important to lobby Texas to get a special law just for them and just for their hair. I just never thought in a million years that I would see that. I don't understand. So I'm having a whole bunch of ladies on tonight. Almond Eyes will be back tonight. Hopefully we can get Mona D to stop by tonight. We can get a bunch of people to stop by tonight. 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're getting into it. And you guys will meet 2 of my actual sisters who have been begging me to do a topic like this. But now I found a reason, because these Black women got their own special law in Texas. They got their own damn law. They got their own, Black women got their own law in Texas. They got Texas to give them their own law. Can you believe that shit?
I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king and I will never knew. Plotting for my fall, you getting hanged for treason. I don't aim to please, do anything I feel. Haters gonna talk, don't listen to the shit. They tryna be like me, they know they can, yo. Can't even get lost, I'm on a pedestal, sitting on my throne. My neck be decked in gold, I don't do no hoes, I've got a queen though. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king, I told you guys before, ready for the war, to get me way much more. Got the oldest parts, item to my kingdom. Shout out to my fans for pledging your allegiance. You get a reward, the best flow you've ever heard. I don't be mixing with birds, I'm a lion on the surge. Always pushing to the edge, facing arrows, never scared. For my greatness I'm a servant, only under myself. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to